I am Sharon Haver from FocusOnStyle.com, and we're here with Brad Boles, our editor-at-large. There I said his title, and he also likes to give his other plug.
Oh, from the Real Housewives of New York City.
How do you like that? He's a real housewife.
I am indeed.
So Brad and I are having a little conundrum, and we've decided to, once we solve that, share our tips with you.
Absolutely.
We are trying to figure out our holiday house parties. However, we're starting to get an action-packed weekend with the extra layer of my kids' birthday party, which all come about the same weekend. So what we're trying to do is figure out a way that we can have my holiday house party in New York, Brad's holiday house party in the country, and be able to be in two places on two different nights. And that brought us to a couple of questions. Now, my party, of course, because it's me, is going to be a little bit more casual and laid back.
I think it would be the opposite. Since you're going to do a city party in your loft, I think it should be more over the top. I think my party in the country should be more casual.
Well, since I do this every year, and at the last minute you always have like some ice, some snow, or something where you don't show up. My friend, you would know people wore, but usually when we do it, people are...
Hi.
Brad likes fine quality leftover Halloween china. See, you just never know. I have a kid, so I kind of like take it down a level and make it comfy.
Right.
But what happens is my parties are usually rather stylish, and pretty much, by and large, almost everyone comes wearing, of course, your favorite color and mine, black.
Of course.
Or
and what about
jeans and a very dressy top, and something
and
that's comfortable that you want to sit in a house with, that you want to hang out in the kitchen and chat with friends. What are you laughing at?
And of course, there's always the permanent fixture, which is the slumped over girl that's drunk in one of your expensive chairs.
No, I actually, every once in a while we invited someone, and I'm like,
I know, but it's great too because you're lucky because your husband loves to DJ, so you've got the built-in DJ. When he gets going,
I know, but you know what he does?
I hear that he's really good, and then nobody wants to leave.
I know. Well, you know what happens with us is people. It's a weird thing. This is another thing on what to do with a holiday house party. We have our friends who aren't married who still go out and still, or in their dreams still think they're party kids, and they show up at, the invite might say 7:30, and they show up at, or start to trickle in at 10:30, and then there's the people who have some kids, and they're like the first one out the door at 7. So what happens is we end up having, and I think I'm Studio 54 at the door, and I try to plan a small group of people where people get together and they like each other and they blend and they make a good party. And I think that's something important too when you're having a small party, is to try to get guests who get along.
Now the question here is, do you send out invitations and specify the dress, or do you email people and specify the dress, or do you let people kind of do what they want to do?
I let people do what they want to do. I figure, half of them come from fashion or music or film or, art, and we have a couple of, the random doctors coming in, who, by the way, are usually the ones who are the worst dressed.
And then you have Vinny and Richard.
Well, they're in Paris.
They're not exactly fashion plates, by the way. We do love them both.
Hey! Well, Prada? Are you kidding?
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So anyway, no, but they're in Paris. So anyway,
they're coming back.
But Vinny, are you kidding? He's Mr. Style.
I was joking. He's fabulously chic. That was my point. The thing is, don't confuse fabulously chic.
I'm offended.
Why?
Because I like the way they look.
I think they look great. I didn't think they looked bad at all. I was sitting, unless you're Richard and Vinny.
Well, last year we had some of my rocker friends here, and that was kind of cute because they were the most sophisticated. But and then but anyway, the point of this is what to wear to a holiday.
Oh, you had
party.
like rocker chicks like
no,
that
I'm
sort
not
of like.
Saying, I'm not a name dropper like.
No,
that.
like Patti Smith sort of look.
No, they were the most stylish.
Like Joan Jett.
No, I'm not. I know.
Are we talking hardcore?
We're talking hardcore.
No, but I mean the look. I didn't say Joan Jett, but I mean the look. Were they showing up like with the big the raccoon eyes?
No, they're the ones who you'd never know who are the most chic. They have like the most style. It's like the stage in the real life.
Okay.
Anyway.
Do they have a blood vial around their neck?
No. Anyway, the point is, know the party. If you don't know, absolutely ask the host or the hostess. If you do know,
do you think this dress would look good with a set of pearls?
He's crazy with his
that neckline. What do you think? Do you think that neckline would work with pearls?
I hate pearls, and that's another video.
But don't you think the contrast though with the sleeve? Do you know? By the way, has any of you viewers, are you noticing how the sleeves kind of light up on their own? Do you think Liza Minnelli would have loved this?
I know. I like this dress. It's my YSL disco. Anyway, so the point is, if it's because we're just going on nowhere with Brad's jokes today.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
If it's a party in someone's house.
Yes.
What you want to think of, if it's like a casual kind of atmosphere, or you're not sure, obviously on any occasion, ask the host or hostess. Is it formal? Is it not formal? Mm-hmm. Is it in the city? Yes, you probably want to wear good shoes. It's in the country, in the snow. No, you probably don't want to be, trudging in and you're cold. I know you have a story on that one. It's someone comes sliding down your hill.
Oh God, that's true. And also too, that's an interesting point that you're bringing up. Yeah, if you so nobody plans the weather when they're planning a party.
Kind of off screen.
And so that is a problem. What happens when there's a torrential snowstorm out? And what about footwear? How do you look fabulous dressed up for a holiday party when you have to dress down the footwear? Do you throw an extra pair of shoes in a bag and then change at the party?
I think it depends. I think if it's going to be a very formal, you're still off screen. It's disturbing.
I kind of like that. It's very
it's disturbing me. I think that if it's a very fancy party where obviously it's a cocktail party and people are very dressed up, it's you might want to change your shoes before you go in the door. I think if it's a party and it's more laid back and it's someone's house, so you're going to be hanging around the kitchen and sitting around the couch and it's just more cozy and casual, it's perfectly fine to wear whatever, cruddy shoes you're wearing and a dressy top. But now let's talk about something else, which I find really annoying. A lot of people have this rule of thumb that when you come to their house, you have to take your shoes off by the door.
Yes. Well, that's if you provide slippers.
Well, most people don't.
They don't.
And first of all, I figure, for me, it's just anal. I'm sorry, but and if your carpet is that white, you should have gotten something that you could afford to clean or change, if that's the case.
Well, that's.
But a lot of people.
But that's interesting because that's very traditionally in Europe, their attitude is very different than ours. It's mandatory that you take off your shoes when you're going to people's homes in Europe. It's because it's very, very, very icy weather and dirty weather in the winter. But I agree with you. I think it's kind of rude to ask someone to remove their shoes at a party.
Then, because you go to someone's house and it's winter and maybe your pedicure isn't perfect, or maybe you're wearing. Oh, he loves that cup. Or maybe it kind of like takes down everything else we're wearing. We look like we're going to do the New Year's Eve here. So I think you might not have a perfect pedicure. You might be wearing your unmatched socks. It's just I don't know. I just find it kind of annoying.
I agree with you. So let's not take off the shoes.
But the same thing is if you're in someone's house, you're kind of screw that you need to respect their rules.
And then let's talk about the most annoying thing about a holiday party.
The person who brings you a fruitcake?
No.
Oh.
The use of the bathrooms. How many times have you been at a holiday party where you really have to go to the bathroom and you are stuck in a line and there is that one person that's in there for 10 minutes?
Well, that's
okay.
Well,
now, guys out there, people out there, if you're in a bathroom for 10 minutes, you don't need to be out in public at a party. Okay? I'm really sorry, and it's a really big pet peeve of mine.
Whether it means redoing your makeup, doing your business, or doing, God forbid, drugs, you should be smart enough and old enough not to do that anymore.
Absolutely.
You don't spend 10 minutes in a bathroom.
And you just don't, and especially at a party, it's rude. People are obviously in line. It's unnecessary.
Well, you know what I find weird is because, we have 4 bathrooms. And what I find weird is, there's certainly plentiful bathrooms here. But when somebody starts snooping and you go and you find that random guest, it's usually like somebody's girlfriend. And you find them in your bedroom or in your
That's
bedroom.
Very strange to me.
Don't, stay in the bounds of the party. Don't.
Yeah, that is true, actually. It's very interesting that you're saying that. How many times have somebody thrown a party and all of a sudden people are spilling over into your bedroom?
I mean, unless it's where you're keeping the coats. It's just like, don't go snooping around. It's weird.
It's kind of embarrassing too. Now let's get back to the slump. Let's get back to the slumped over drunk in the chair with the strappy handbag.
Like, what do you do when there's a drunk guest at your party and it's time to go? I think what happens is, or worse,
you can call them a car service.
You can call them a car service, but usually they're the ones who gets loud, and usually they're the ones who insist on going in the hallway to have a cigarette. So.
Which is really not cool in New York City, by the way. There are fire codes in the city. I mean, in most cities. In any city, you can't smoke in a
People do it here, and I've had people do it at my party, and it's really disgusting because you know what happens? The smell goes into every other apartment in the building.
And they complain.
But anyway, so what happens is I think the person who's responsible for inviting them needs to be the one to kind of go up and say,
this is called guest, by the way, this is guest etiquette.
Guest etiquette. How about a cup of coffee and I think you should leave. Now, when they start singing in your ear and screaming and having a fit, that's when you kind of need to take them aside and do your babysitting and say to yourself, have they done this before? Cross them off the list. Too much work.
But also, do you find that when you have a DJ, you have loud music going, I mean, there's a certain volume that music should be played at during.
Brad's voice is usually beyond that volume.
Yeah, well, no, but don't you find that people end up talking over the music even louder?
I find that people start to congregate in funny little spots, and they all sit there, and you're like, why are you not sitting where the chairs are? And I find they end up congregating in little, like the kitchen again, off on the side of the couch. You know, I have
so what do you think is an appropriate level for music at a party?
I mean,
a cocktail party.
Where you can still hear someone speak.
Yes, I agree. I mean, if you're doing a full-on disco party, that's a totally different thing.
Or, you know, later in the night, and if your apartment is well soundproofed.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you who have no doors.
Yeah, but no one else is sleeping when the music's on, and the apartment is soundproofed.
Is anybody ever sleeping here?
No, we don't sleep here.
Anyway, that's great. So that is our tips.
What about now? One last tip. What about when in your country party when it's icy and snowy? What should people be wearing?
Well, I mean, I you know, my party last year, for instance, I mean, people came very, very glamorous because that's just who I am. But they were. It's. You know, I mean, it's kind of who I am. So I'm a hard barometer. I think if you're having a country party,
especially since someone has to drive 2 hours to your house.
I think a beautiful cashmere. Yeah, hello, and 6-inch heels.
6-inch heels, and you get stopped on the highway. I'm sorry, officer.
And your Lamborghini.
Yeah.
No, but I think I think
not so easy to get out of.
No, they're not. No. They're so low to the ground.
Yeah.
So no, I say wear a gorgeous cashmere sweater if you're a guy. Plaids will do. I think they're chic. I mean, a stripe is great. Solids are wonderful. A great pair of slacks looks great. Slacks
just
are
more sophisticated sportswear. Kind of like for me, it's always like a minimalist basics that are well cut, a good piece, and something that's maybe a little more special and dressy in either color or fabrication.
And for God's sake, avoid holiday wardrobe that embellishes the holiday.
Yeah, and
like wreath sweaters,
3D animated sweaters.
No, Christmas bulb earrings, reindeer sweaters. Those are another one.
Well, you know what? We could talk about what not to wear to a holiday party in the country on our next one because I can come up with that.
We are doing that. You will be. Yeah, focus on that.
We'll do that on the one right after this. We'll do what not to wear to a holiday party in the country because I got plenty of tips on that.
Absolutely.
So anyway, and so do you. We'll be talking to you soon. Take care and signing off.